Afternoon, everyone. Watching my little feed here to make sure that we are actually up and running. So it is good to see everybody. We've got actually a pretty good crowd waiting already. Tons of stuff going on. Normally my notes for a live feed for all the Disney and park news is like a little handheld sheet, yay big. I've got a page of typewritten notes about so much stuff going on. There's a ton of it. We got questions and answers. I got a little bit of mail, light mail month, but hey, that's okay here and there because we're going to make up for it with all this other stuff. So hold on, we're going to have some fun and talk about a lot of things. So I don't know if you guys have been looking at font and page spacing. 12 point, Craig. Don't know if y'all have been watching the news from the parks, but there's just been a ton of different things coming out of the parks. Mail from Barry. Actually, let's see. That is Barry stacked this time. And then I've got one more letter here, and I got a package from D23 that I'll be talking about. So I'll get to those in a little bit. All sorts of news coming from Disney, though. They sent out a letter to their cast members that leaked a couple days ago that Stitch's Great Escape, which this is old news, but they're just admitting it, Rivers of Light and Primeval Whirl are all officially closed for good. So they are gone. The interesting thing is the video I did about the Primeval Whirl, the rides that I would remove and replace, where I mentioned Primeval Whirl, it was actually recorded last week, long before they announced it, so it was kind of funny. It was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Kathy, I did not know. I am so sorry. We will definitely be praying. Let me grab a pen here. I'm going to make a note of that. I want to add you to our prayer list. So I am so sorry about that, Kathy. Those of you who may not be seeing the cat, just got a note. The chat just had a note from one of my viewers that she lost a couple close members of her family, so I'm making that. Yeah, it's crazy, though, that all these things... Rivers of Light, which, I'll be honest, when I saw it at Animal Kingdom a couple years back, I was like, not impressed. I've heard the original version was better, but it still never looked like a show that had much of a future, so it's gone for good. Stitch's Great Escape, we knew a couple years ago. It's actually already been stripped down, so it's gone. Primeval Whirl was already spotty. I'm hoping they get rid of Dino Land. But it was just kind of odd that here I did this video talking about rides and stuff I would get rid of, and then literally like 2-3 days after I recorded it, they announced it. I'm going, wow. It was almost prophetical. So, numbers of other things coming out that have been delayed, put off. We know about the Splash Mountain conversion. The one thing to keep in mind, I know people are freaking out. Oh no, we gotta write it quick. It's going to be a couple years before they actually start the conversion. It's a long planning process. Next year is the big anniversary. They want Splash Mountain open during the anniversary. So you've got time to ride Splash Mountain if this is one of the things you're after. You've got time to buy your souvenirs and stuff. The people that are like massively stockpiling stuff so they can resell it for huge prices on eBay. But it will be happening. Epcot, so much of the stuff is delayed and put off. Guardians of the Galaxy, the ride is delayed, but not necessarily for the reason you think. Most of the construction's done, but they've got all the video footage and stuff to shoot, and they can't do that because the movie production has been put on hold. And until they start the movie production, they can't do the ride filming. So it's kind of on hold for that. But it will be coming. Spaceship Earth refurbishment is delayed at the very least, possibly sort of canceled. At some point they've got to update it anyways, but it's basically on the shelf right now. It won't be happening soon. The Play Pavilion I have heard almost nothing about. I don't know if they're moving forward on it or not. Ratatouille is almost done. It'll get opened up here pretty soon. Mary Poppins is essentially canceled at Epcot. Gone, done. From what I am reading, the Beer Garden Festival Center is basically gone, done. And then the Moana Garden is very likely done. If you're hearing that buzz, I'm sorry, that's my dryer right behind me. They only got torn down one of the buildings. They might put the Moana Garden there, but that's actually where the festival beer garden was supposed to be, and that's canceled. They may put that now in the Innovations building that's still standing, because now it looks like they may not cancel that. It's kind of on hold. The Star Wars Hotel, I have not heard anything on. It was on hold during the pause. We don't know if it's on hold right now or not. The Space Restaurant, though, I've heard is getting close to opening. So it's supposed to be there. But yeah, just lots of changes. There's rumors out there, again, the parks reclosing, which if you were with my last live feed 3-4 weeks ago, I had commented that I was actually having people tell me that Universal was reclosing right after the 4th of July, and, well, you can see how those rumors came out. So we'll see on that, but it's not looking good in Florida right now, so we will see. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit here on some of the chat. Joseph, I like to think that those letters were just sent either at the worst possible time or they knew it was closed and they just awkwardly sent the letters because they didn't know what to do. Yeah, sometimes. Is my church open for seated service? My church actually opened for seated service back on Mother's Day. So in May, but we are limited capacity. We don't allow more than 20 people in the building, which we're small church anyways. We typically would average 15, so that's not a problem. We do have more spacing and other stuff and hand sanitizer and things, and we've shortened the service. But yeah, we've been open for a little while. Let's see here. Do I read any fantasy books? I love fantasy books. I am anxiously awaiting the next Brendan Sanderson book coming up in November. Anxiously waiting. We're all waiting for that one. So, do I think Walt Disney World and Disneyland will close again? Well, Disneyland won't close again because it's still not open. And it won't be opening in a while. California has basically gone backwards on all that. So if it is a theme park in California, it's closed. And it won't be opening soon. None of the ones in California have opened, with the one exception being Discovery Kingdom in Vallejo. And that's because they opened up the zoo parts. And as far as I understand, they may have had to close those again as well. No timeline, no estimates. We have no idea when California is going to allow any of those to open again. As far as Walt Disney World, I don't know. Do I think it should with everything going on? Probably. But Disney is as safe as you're going to find any place in the state. If there is a place to be safe out. I really don't know if they're going to close or not. At what point do the numbers hit high enough that the state feels like it has to close it? I don't know what that is. And are we not at it yet? So that's a hard thing to say. We're waiting to see. The kind of financial hit, though, this is the hard part, is you're trying to balance the economics against human lives. And it's just a hard balance. I'm very grateful I am not somebody that has to make those decisions. I really, really am. So, do I play games on consoles like Xbox or PS4? I don't have time. I don't get to play anywhere near as many games as I would like. Let's see here. Primeval World didn't even look like it belonged in Disney Park anyway. And this is actually part of the problem. I talked about it a bit on the video where I mentioned the rides I would remove. The whole Dino-Rama area in Primeval World falls into some of the same problems that the pier area at Disneyland's California Adventure had, in that they were trying to create a theme on the cheap of a cheap, chintzy tourist attraction thing, which they fulfilled that theme well because it was cheap and chintzy. It didn't belong in a Disney park. Disney is known for not being cheap and chintzy. So it was a way for them to kind of justify budget cuts when they were building the park, but yeah, I've never liked it. There's some people that really do like it, but it just, it never worked. Disney is not cheap and chintzy. It's not supposed to remind you of the cheap, chintzy outside stuff. It's supposed to be unique. So, yeah. What's my thoughts on Frozen 2? Oh, I watched Frozen 2 when it was in the theaters. Loved it. Very much enjoyed it. So, Frozen 2 is a great movie. Let's see here. Boy, we're getting all sorts of chat, which is awesome. Let me try and go back to some more of the news, talk about it a little bit here. The one thing that's probably a good rule here with the Disney stuff is if it has not been started yet, construction hasn't happened, not demolition, construction. If construction is not in process, it is more than likely on hold, and a lot of them are going to be canceled. So it's sad for Epcot because Epcot was in major need of a do-over, and right as they get everything torn apart without building anything, now it all gets on hold, and they're having to drop stuff all sorts of ways, and it's just not looking good for Epcot at this point. They may still do the Moana thing because it's going to be one of the cheaper, easier things to do, but I really don't know. I would not be surprised if they take the empty Innovations building and turn that into the Festival Center at this point, because it's going to be a cheap way to do it. Still think it's better than the beer garden, but not real excited about how that's going to be. I'm afraid Epcot's entrance area and that whole center spine of Epcot's just going to look terrible for a while. And a lot of those things that they planned and announced and were excited about are probably just not going to happen. Suzanne Bryce actually mentioned something I'm going to touch upon, wondering if Disney will sell off Shanghai or Hong Kong parks. There is a post that has come out in several of the Disney groups by a person called WDW Pro. Coming across as an insider with, Laura Wade, Mary Poppins is not postponed. It's canceled. Okay? Just want to clarify that. If they haven't started it, it's canceled, gone, not happening at all. WDW Pro has posted in a few spots about Disney's Big Red Button option. And I will be straight out honest with you, is I'm going to give a few details, but there's a number of people inside the companies that are also debating whether this is legit. Basically saying that with part of the issue is the economy. Disney's losing money. Yes, they're losing money. Everybody's losing money right now. They can't run capacity. They can't bring in the dollars. And if they can't bring in the dollars, they're losing them. You've also got the problems that the U.S. government is having with China right now. On multiple levels. The whole thing that came out last week with Hong Kong and stuff like that. And basically, to take his huge, long deal summed up short, he says Disney's essentially got this big red button. Yeah, I always think Men in Black. Don't push the big red button. But that if things don't work out and they end up at the risk of possibly losing the parks in China because of the government ties in, because the government is part of the park management in China. It had to be. Disney supposedly has this option to sell the parks in China. I don't know who on earth they'd sell them to. The Chinese government is not going to pay that kind of money for it. If anything, they would just take it over. A lot of this idea that Disney would divest themselves of the Hong Kong and Shanghai parks, sell them off for like $4 or $5 billion, and then just let the Chinese government run it, I don't think is workable. I don't think it's practical. I do think Disney is looking at a lot of options and how to get through this. What can they do to keep funds coming in, to increase funds in other areas, to help take care of their cast members and keep the company going? But I don't think that's on the table. I was reading somewhere that Disney has more than enough cash on hand that even at the current system that they can get through this year and next, that there's actually talk that for second quarter they may even still turn a profit. It just won't be the $6 billion a quarter profit. It may only be 1 or 2. Disney is in much better shape than most of the companies out there. They are going to get through this. Don't be surprised if they end up cutting people, just like every other theme park company has done out there. They've gone from furloughs to actually releasing them. I expect them to do that. But I don't know that this big red button thing with selling off the Chinese parks is necessarily going to happen. So, come back a little bit here. I think Paradise Pier actually worked compared to Dinosaur. I actually commented on this on one of the Disney forums today. Because they were talking about how bad California Adventure was in the early day. I liked California Adventure. They were talking about how horrible Superstar Limo was. I would take Superstar Limo and ride it all day compared to Dino Land at Animal Kingdom. Okay? I liked... Superstar Limo wasn't great. The Monsters, Inc. ride there is so much better. But Dino Land's just... I thought Paradise Pier was actually really nice. I liked Paradise Pier better than I liked Pixar Pier. I thought the carousel that was there was better. I liked Maliboomer. I thought that fit well, even if it was a amusement park ride. I thought it worked. Yeah, but Primeval World, bleh. Let's see here. So Mariah, I am doing good. Let's see, Laura, Tales of the Technobilly, you made it. Have I heard of Kingdom Keepers? Yes, I've actually read most of the books. It's been a while since I've read one though. And the remodel in Epcot, are they going to fix the dome over Epcot to keep the rain out? Yeah, that's definitely one of those things that was canceled on the project. It was really their pie in the sky. But with everything else, sorry, no dome. When Disney does something, it has to be the best or they don't do it. That is the fans' perspective. Disney definitely has done some things that have not been the best. Go look at Disney 80s animation. Ooh, some of it was bad. And then they have definitely built some parks on the cheap. Walt Disney Studios at Paris, you compare to Walt Disney Studios to Disneyland Paris, and it's a world of difference. There's some things I really like at Studios Paris, but it's not the same quality. There are some things at California Adventure that were not the same quality. The fountain was, and some other things, but yeah, there's definitely some issues. Or some, they don't always do it the best. They still are a business trying to make money. So, Craig, I like you even if your tastes are unique. Thanks, Craig. So a couple of other things. I want to give you some updates. Are they going to have to move Walt's frozen body under the castle? Well, only his head. The rest of the body can stay. Actually, from what I heard, during the closure at Disneyland, they actually took his head out and took him on a park around, or a tour around the park so he could see what it looked like now. Okay. Walt Disney is not buried at the castle. Let me hit a couple pieces of mail here, and then I'm going to talk about some things coming up on the channel, because believe it or not, I got a whole bunch of stuff filmed and doing other things already. So let's see. I love this card from Barry here. And it's good to see Barry on. Y'all keep commenting on my videos about awesome shirt. Where do you get the shirt? How do you get the shirt? Barry. Sir Willow, if you get in trouble for taking Amber on X, would you get in trouble for getting a postcard of X? Yes. X is awesome. That is the roller coaster in California that I took her on. Yes, it's straight down. Those seats on the edge, they rotate. It's awesome. Do I like homemade gifts? I love homemade gifts. I love gifts of all sorts. I'm not picky, but only have a couple here. If you look at my shelf at the church, I've got more of the homemade things. Let me see. Well, I've got the necklace there, and just trying to glance over here. I thought I had a couple more of the homemade things here. But no, I keep all those things. If it's sent to me, I keep it. I love stuff. I do not ever expect gifts. I don't ever expect people to send me things. So I am grateful and blown away by anything that's sent to me. So another card here from Barry. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy a cookout, fireworks, and not wearing any pants. Well, no, we did wear pants at the 4th of July. But we had a good 4th. I streamed the fireworks that we set off. You all see Craig. So if you saw the video with the fireworks, thank Craig, because he was the one who helped with that. Then we had a very nice barbecue at home. I haven't seen Brendan pop up yet, but Brendan is another one of my patrons, and he was actually up from Texas and stuff. So, yeah, we had him here. Had a good time. 4D belongs in theaters, not coasters. Oh, X is awesome. Let's see. Is Genie from Aladdin in the Kingdom Keepers books? I don't remember. Should you try Beverly? Good luck trying it. The place that had it at Epcot is closed and gone, and I don't know if it will return. And the one that's at downtown, or Disney Springs, downtown Disney, I don't believe has it anymore. So if you have never had the Beverly, you may be out of your chance. So let's see. Not going to lie, when I saw footage of Disneyland Paris' reopening day, I felt like I was crying on the inside. If you have not seen the video of Disneyland Paris' opening, it was interesting because the parks, generally when they open, they have all the cast members out on the street waving and cheering and saying hi to everybody. So it actually wasn't any different. It's just under the circumstances with it having been closed, it was different. So I've seen people, oh, it's so cool to see them all out here for once. I'm like, no, we did that every day when I worked there. If I was working at the View at Grand Expo, we were outside on the street greeting people. When I opened up Cover Story at Hollywood Studios, we were outside of the street greeting people. So that's normal. What I found interesting about the Disneyland Paris one was if you look at that video, you can see managers, yeah, managers and supervisors standing in spots like by guest relations in a couple spots, holding their phones, videotaping. And I'm looking at that and going, when I was at Disney, if you pulled your phone out and it was not directly for Disney related business, you were fired instantly on the spot. Didn't matter what position you were in. Even the vice presidents, the only time they would pull their phones out is if it was Disney business, because they would have a Disney phone and their personal phone. They would never pull their personal phones out. And here they all are videotaping, and I'm just going, wow, has something changed? that bothered me a little bit. It was cool to see it open, but yeah, that definitely bothered me. So, do I think the holidays are going to be difficult and different? Disney does not do Thanksgiving, so that's one thing to keep in mind. You will see a couple things on Thanksgiving Day, but Disney really doesn't. They start Christmas the first part of November. So does Silver Dollar City. Here's where you're going to run into the problems. Parades, they're not doing parades. Fireworks, they're not doing fireworks. If you go to Silver Dollar City, their huge Christmas light display draws crowds. And then they've got a couple huge shows that are a huge part of it that they can't do because of the crowds. I don't know what Christmas is going to be like at the parks this year. I really don't. I don't know that they can do what they have done. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I'm afraid some of it's going to be difficult. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if some of it gets canceled, which is a sad thought, but I kind of have a bad feeling. Okay. One more card here from Barry. I got some viewers that will appreciate this. Happy Canada Day. Let's see. Wishing you a most delightful Canada Day. Eh? I do actually have a number of viewers in Canada. In fact, Richard, who sent me several packages, is up in Ontario, and got a couple things on the shelf there from him. Like princesses, I like most of the characters, Bonnie. So make some Disney princess themed origami. I'll tell you who would really like that would be my daughter, because if you don't know, my daughter is still planning on going to Japan. If we add up all of her monthly pledges as well as the money she has, she's actually almost at 50% of what she needs. So she's getting the money, and then it's going to be whether they let her in the country and when. Her goal, if you don't know, is, and I'm going to lead into some announcements here, and then I'll get to the other couple packages. My daughter's goal is to have all of her money raised by October. That includes monthly pledges, reaching out for 6 months, because she wants to go to Japan for 6 months. She wants to get the money raised by October, and then it's waiting to see when they start allowing people from America in again. When she goes, depending upon when she goes, I am desperately working on saving money, and I got my plane ticket or so covered right now, and then trying to get some more. But that I can either go with her when she goes for a week, or go pick her up, depending upon dates, and that way I can go spend some time at Tokyo Disney. That's the plan and the hope. It is looking better. There's still a ways to go. Timelines are going to be very much in flux. If she leaves November, December, definitely November, I would go. I would probably go when she comes back, which would be April. If she leaves any later than that, I will take her there. Because I want to go at a time when there are not as many guests. Just because I want to avoid crowds anyways. So we're kind of waiting to see what timeline, but I'm really optimistic that Japan is going to happen. Fingers crossed. I do have another trip sort of that is going to happen in September. And actually, you all see Craig there with the green name. Craig is actually going to be coming down here from where he lives. And we're going to be heading over to Marceline, Missouri for a day, staying in town. I have actually already contacted the museum, the Disney Museum there, to make sure we can get in. And I'll follow up with them to... I don't know if you've done that yet or not, Craig, but I will be checking out the Disney Museum, and we're staying at a bed and breakfast that is all Disney themed at the theater. So I will have a couple videos from that trip coming up. And then the plan is to go to Silver Dollar City. Fingers crossed that all that works out. A couple other things that are coming up. We do have, y'all have seen Laurel in the Disneyland and the Universal videos and stuff. Laurel is actually going to be here. She's arriving Tuesday. She will be here with her sister for a few days. We will be doing a couple different things. We do have a couple activities in Branson planned that we will be filming. Again, being very careful about what we're doing with the crowds and everything else. But we will have a couple videos from that. We're also going to let her and Amber have Dish on Sir Willow time, where we're going to film, and they're going to talk about what it's like to go to a park with me and the experiences and stuff like that. So if you have a question or something you want Laurel to answer, send it to me either through email, sirwillow@gmail.com, or send it through Facebook, and that way I can get it to her and we can have some fun with that. I've got several videos, actually a few already filmed, why I no longer work at Disney. I realized I've never actually told that story. So we will definitely, that's going to be coming up Tuesday. I actually received a video projector from a company to evaluate. So yes, there's going to be a product review coming up. I'm kind of like, okay. But so if you see that, watch it for me. I'm not going commercial. I'm really not. But hey, if somebody sends you a free video projector, yeah, why not? And then I've also got Dumb Things That Guests Say to Characters. That is already filmed. I've got a couple others. Oh gosh, what else did I film this week? I filmed like 6 videos yesterday. I was totally brain fried at the end of it. So several things coming up that way. We are going to California the first and second week of August. We'll be there about 8 days. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to any theme parks. We're not doing any meet and greets. We're going to visit family. And California right now is so shut down that there just isn't anything to do. However, I may do a live stream while we were there. I don't know. The one thing I will be doing is I will be doing training, on-the-line training for my job at the census, which is being used to help pay for Japan. So, yes, I'm going to have 3 jobs. Census, church, and this. Whew. But whatever I can to make Japan work. Also, there is a couple other trips in the works. Yeah, nowhere to go in California. It's all closed. There are a couple other things possibly in the works for next summer. Some of you watched my Parks I Would Love to Go To video, and I got a few offers, and I kind of had to laugh because I had 3 different people offer to take me on a trip that actually, believe it or not, is already in the works. So I don't want to spill the beans on that yet because there's still a lot of things that have to happen, but we'll see. So let's see. Whew, lots of questions. Yes, the Disney Family Museum is what I was talking about. How are the Disney movies like Mulan going? I have no idea at this point. So, let's see. The Canada film, I believe, has actually been put on hold too. Somebody mentioned that Ryan Reynolds' top pick for the new Canada film. I believe that is also on hold and probably not happening anytime soon. So, let's see here. Wish it was at the Burlington family house right now. Put you and your family up, feed you, take care of Northern California and Disney Family Museum. Laura, I appreciate it. Like I said, we'll actually be in Southern California, and there's nothing open. There's literally nothing open. We will be about a half mile away from my in-laws' house, because that's the reason we're going, is to do some visits there. And it'll be between their house and the hotel, and even eating is going to be having it delivered because nothing's open. So, heard Disney uses air cannons to launch the shells into the sky instead of a lift charge. I have no idea, Crazy Mike. I don't set off those kinds of fireworks. It is all professionally done. They have it down to a science. So I have no idea. Should do Disney book reviews. Oh, more stuff to do that I don't have time for. I've read a few Disney books. In fact, if you see my video where I talk about resetting my shelves, I do talk about a couple of the books I put on there, but it's just tough to find time to do all this stuff. If I come back to Texas, will I do a meet and greet? Wherever I go, if I'm on the road outside of this area, I will let you know if I'm on the road, and I will try and do a meet and greet. And for the one trip I'm looking at next summer, it is probably at least one, potentially two meet and greets that we're talking about. There are places that I have talked about for quite a while, so just to drop hints. But let's see. Hey, sir, where'd it go? Let's see. Been able to do outdoor things like big trees in Sequoia. Where we're at, they've got even the outdoor stuff shut down. It's just nothing. Do I feel ever since I've become a theme park enthusiast that it's harder to enjoy them and just be? For me, Joel, no. It's a good question. Honestly, some days I feel more pessimistic and miss the days of being a casual fan. I find it fascinating. I can see that with some enthusiasts, but I've always been fascinated by the inner workings and stuff. It's made it more fun, but I've also always been very respectful of what I don't know and of the people working. I know some enthusiasts kind of turn it into this, well, I know so much, and so I'm not limited in what I do, and I know better than... I've never had that attitude, and that bothers me. I can still sit down and walk into a park, a kiddie park, and enjoy it like a kid. The inner kid in me loves it. So, please do a video on Fairy Tale Land if I go. Oh, you mean up in Sacramento? I grew up at... In Sacramento, we had a place called Fairy Tale Town that I grew up at, but I'd love to do that at some point. Do I believe in ghosts? Nope. Enough said. So, let me hit a couple mail things. Package, small box from Barry this time. And then I still got a letter and another package I want to share, but y'all are keeping me busy today. By the way, I hope you notice I'm a little bit closer to live with you instead of the long delay. I did make some changes in my setup. Let's see. Now that you've read Dreamfinder's book, you can now wear his shirt. Oh, this is gonna be a cool one. Color I don't usually wear, which is good. I like new colors. There we go. Dreamfinder. This is one thing that the Imagination redo is also on hold for a while, if it happens. But I really hope they bring Dreamfinder back when they eventually redo it. That would be really cool. But that is an awesome shirt. Thank you, Barry. Okay, so now I'll wear this in a video here in a couple weeks, and everybody will go, where did he get the shirt? Barry. Thank you, Barry. Let's see. Yeah, Southern Cal is where the biggest hot spots in the state are. Yeah, we're not flying into LAX. We're actually flying into Ontario. We're driving straight to my in-laws' house, and we're staying there. We're not socializing. We're not going out. We're not meeting people. Even the family that we're meeting, it's going to be masks on, 7 feet distance. It's just... do I believe in mermaids? Well, I've met Ariel and talked with her. So if you want to tell Ariel she's not real. Let's see. In Sweden, some cinemas are open. I'm glad to finally see movies again. They do have a few theaters open in Branson. So this is from, let's see, Savageau in Utah. I hope I said that right. It's Savageau. Something like that. Somebody will correct me. Let's see. FYI, these are printed before the pandemic, so dates and entertainment are not all correct. Oh, this is cool. They are brochures from Lagoon. This is, and there's what their schedule was supposed to be, but isn't now. I really don't have anything on Lagoon. Lagoon is a theme park in Utah, and it's actually, they build a lot of their own stuff. So it's a neat park, neat story behind it. And there's the map. I would love to get to Lagoon one day, and in fact, the reason they really weren't in that one video is because I don't have it. Well, I didn't have anything. Now I do. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Yay. Good stuff. Did I ever go to the Winchester House? Yes, I did. I've been to the Winchester House a couple of times years and years ago. Actually took my wife when we were still dating, and it creeped her out. She did not like it, but my wife also grew up in a place, she spent years down in South America, where there's still active witch doctors and still witchcraft, and lots of stuff that is not cool, and by the way, that stuff is real. It's not good, but I won't get preachy on it. But yeah, she saw and dealt with a lot of things that brought back memories of that, and so she did not like it. For me, it's just weird. I'm happy I saw it, but I don't have any desire to go back. Um, oh, let me see. Let me try. Boy, you guys are going. 71 of you. No wonder I'm trying to keep up. Let's see. Aaron, I'm the guy that showed you those watches. Yes, I do remember that. Let's see. Have y'all any more published about writing a book? My problem with writing a book, Dustin, because I have actually thought about it, I actually did talk to somebody, is one very simple thing. Time. I don't have time. Even the census job I'm taking on, I'm going, how on earth am I going to do this? My church literally takes up 40 hours a week of work. And then I spend another 20 hours, 25 hours doing videos. So now I'm up to 65 hours a week. So that's almost, that's over 10 hours a day. It's a lot of time to do that. I just don't have time for things like that. I would love to have more time. If somebody can make me a 30-hour day, I would love you. But it's just not an ability to do some things like that. Otherwise, I probably would write a book. Because although if you've been watching the channel for the last 4 years, you've probably seen almost everything that would be in the book. There's a couple things I would tell in it that I haven't told in videos, but for the most part, pretty much you've seen it all. Let's see. Theaters open in Dallas, only showing old movies. Yeah, because there's no movies being released right now. In fact, there's almost anything that was in production's been on hold. Do you think in 2021 Disney Fast Pass and the dining plan will be back? I have no clue, Crazy Mike. No clue. Disney is having to do a lot of experimenting. It'll be interesting to see if they realize that not having Fast Pass makes those lines move faster. I know a lot of people are hoping that Fast Pass Plus will be gone because of this. I have no clue what 2021 holds. I don't even know what the rest of 2020 holds. I don't even know about Christmas in the parks this year, let alone next year. So it's going to really be tough to make any sort of decision on that. Let's see. Still swears he went to Neverland as a child. Oh, Jana, if I could tell you about some of the places I went as a child that were real then and aren't now. Let's see. Woo, and it just jumped. Wow, all sorts of stuff. Let's see here. Okay, lots of talk about ghosts. For me to talk about ghosts, guys, I would start preaching. Not gonna do it. Is Dolly Stampede open in Branson? I do not believe so. I don't think so. There are some shows that are open. They're at like a third capacity. So there's a lot that is not. Canada's Wonderland is fighting the Ontario government to reopen. There's a lot of places fighting to reopen that aren't going to be allowed right now. So, yeah. Do you don't have a park where you really want to have no more? Okay, Erwin, don't take this personally, but can you translate that into English? Do you don't have a park where you really want to have no more? I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. I maybe need to take a break and go upstate. Oh, I'd love to. Upstate New York, that's where all my family is. One of these years. Let's see. Who needs sheep? I'm supposed to be a sheep. I follow the Good Shepherd. Okay. Was that a Hamilton reference, Craig? If you did not see my Facebook page a couple hours ago, my personal one, I commented, King George III, get out of my head. Yeah, da 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 da. There you go, Craig. Had to sing for you. Oh, that's sleep. Okay. Let's see here. Stampede and Pigeon Forge is open. Yeah. Was my favorite ice cream, whichever kind I'm eating. Okay, so this last package is from D23. My gold membership got renewed. And these look really, really cool. Craig, stop. The D23, their gold group is amazing in the stuff they send out. It's $100 a year for the membership. I got my membership free last year because of buying lots and lots of DVDs over several years. This year, I went ahead and splurged and paid for it. Actually, I should put it this way. My patrons paid for it. My patrons and YouTube members, that's one of the things that the money has gone to D23. But get a nice little welcome letter. And then this is really cool. Look at the size of this map. And I'm going to have to back up so you can see it because it's huge. Let's see. There you go. That is a big map. That is... Yeah, I need to make that your ringtone. I need to do that too. Let's see. This box also has my membership card with... Let's see here. My name, membership number, and stuff like that. It's got a patch in there. And then these are actually really cool. They're postcards. And I don't want to take them all out, so I'll kind of flip them a little bit. See if you can... there you go. I am Groot and a number of different things there. Oh my goodness, London. What? Thank you so much, London, for that gift. That is amazing to me. I'll come back to this in a second. Hope you stay safe. Hope for the best for your future trip plans. Thank you so much. At some point, this is going to clear out and it's going to work out. What are some of the Disney rides at the parks I haven't visited that I'd love to ride? Ooh. There is so many. One of the reasons I'm excited about Tokyo Disneyland. Journey to the Center of the Earth is there. The whole Disney Sea Park looks amazing. I want to see their version of the Haunted Mansion, and forgive me on what it's called. It's just an amazing looking park. So much there. If I could get to Shanghai, their version of Pirates of the Caribbean looks absolutely incredible. Those would probably be the highlights that jump out top of my head. Journey to the Center of the Earth and the Pirates, and then the Haunted Mansions. Mystic Manor, thank you, Craig. Those would be right there, but there are so many, and like I said, my mind's on the kit, so I'm kind of going, well, let's see. Does this map actually is supposed to show Disney parks all around the world. So let me see if I can actually pull up some of them on this, because you can actually... Let's see, Halloween Town, Bald Mountain, Knock America. You can see Space Mountain, Tomorrowland. Let's see, Elsa's Ice Castle is on here. Kingdom of Corona. I don't want to go to the Kingdom of Corona right now. Okay. But it's actually kind of neat because it has so many of the story things, but also things from the parks. So, yeah. So much I want to see. I'm going to get there one way or the other. One way or the other. Jacob has the answer on the fireworks stuff there. Let's see. 39 minutes until a favorite. New record. Yeah, we're getting there. Unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sight, a dimension of sound. Your next destination. You know, it'd be better if I could actually read it right. A dimension of sight, a dimension of sound. Your next destination, the Twilight Zone. Okay. In real life, King George III was crazy. He went crazy later on. In fact, if you watch Hamilton, a number of the things that he does alludes to when he goes nuts later on. Hence the whole da-da-da-da. Yeah. Let's see. More singing. Boy, Craig, there's people asking for me to sing. Wouldn't it be awesome if Lin-Manuel Miranda got involved with the parks? There actually was a rumor that came out 2 weeks ago that Lin-Manuel Miranda and Weird Al were both in talks to help redo Hall of Presidents at Magic Kingdom. And I believe that's all fallen apart. It would have been interesting to see their take. The idea was to redo Hall of Presidents where they didn't have to have each new president come in and do a speech and redo all of that, where they could just kind of keep it and maybe plug in a figure, but otherwise leave it. I still fully expect Disney to go that route, but it'll be a while. So, also in this box, coming back to it, this is a bandana. Well, Actually, not just a bandana. It's... I'm still thinking of more rides here, London. But yeah, very, very nice. Adventures out here. And then, and of course, this is what will always get me at Disney. And it would not be D23 if they didn't send. If I can get it out. It doesn't want to come. There we go. Pins! Gotta have my pins. These are actually really nice. The D23 pins last year were amazing. But these things are heavy. They're big. You can see Tony's Restaurant, Swiss Family Treehouse, polished beautifully. Asgard, Hoth, Pizza Planet. Yeah, just gorgeous pins. And this thing is heavy. that's a lot of the weight in this box. So, if you're flying out of MCI, when we go to California, we're flying out of Springfield. Do have a route on the way. However, our friends that are arriving next week are going in and out of MCI. So it will be interesting. So that's good to know that you're concerned about that. We will let them know. But we'll be flying Springfield to Atlanta and then out. So let's see here. Gaming. Putting up. Oh, okay. Hey, I just hit Flyby Stancer's rumor. There you go. There was actually talk that Lin-Manuel and Weird Al actually were in talks, but it never progressed past talks. So let's see here. Try and catch up. Whew, you guys are just going fast. It's fun. Let's see. Anne and Elizabeth had a wonderful time getting together with you and your family. I wish I could have been there, but my job keeps me in Florida. Yeah, we missed you. Those of you who don't know, if you remember my return trip to Walt Disney World, oh goodness, 2.5 years ago now? Has it been that long? With my first meet and greet down in Florida, I actually live streamed from it, and there was a girl that was dancing behind me, which I thought was hilarious. She was just having a great time. Well, she and her mom were actually up in the area, and so we met them for burgers and milkshakes the other day. Again, keeping spacing, we got to the restaurant. There literally was nobody else in the restaurant. And so we spread out around the table, which worked great. But yeah, it was good to see them. It really was. Let's see. Pillage and Plunder Rifle. Yeah, y'all are going to get me singing. Poor Craig is just going to go, no! Yeah, Kingdom of Crown, name change ahead. Let's see here. Be safe, be safe. We definitely are everything we can to be safe. Even with these things, we live in an area where people are not being careful. We get looks because we're the only ones in the stores wearing masks. We go when the stores and restaurants are empty. Take the food to go. Don't eat in them normally. With my life as a pastor, I have to be in contact with people, but we do everything we can to keep safe, keep distance, wear masks, and all of that. So, yeah, we are doing everything we can to be careful on that. I don't want this stuff, and I know too many people. In fact, last week we found out some good friends of ours in California who, they're a couple years older than us. She came home from work with it, gave it to her husband, gave it to their married older daughter, who gave it to her husband, gave it to their married younger daughter, and they were just finding out if one of their grandkids had it. We're like, please, Lord? Nope, gotta keep it safe. So, let's see. Virtually singling from Disney Company. Yeah. Hamilton Polka is fun. Love Al's Disney crossovers like Skipper Dan, including Grinning Ghost. It would have been fun if Weird Al and Lin-Manuel Miranda could have done it. I think they could have done something really nice that would have been contemporary and yet classic at the same time. It's too bad. It'd be neat to see if they could somehow get in talks again to redo it. But George, it's my church meeting in person. Me and my mom visiting some family in Marionville would like to stop by and listen to your sermon. Yes, we are open. We actually covered this early in the video. We reopened on Mother's Day. We are limited in capacity to 20 people, but that shouldn't be a problem because we've been averaging about a dozen right now. We are doing spacing. We ask. You are definitely allowed to wear a mask. I really don't have anybody wearing a mask right now because we're just really spaced out. But we prop the front door open. We limit it to an hour. We get in and out. So yes, we are open. If you're thinking this Sunday, we actually have a missionary family coming and speaking, so you won't hear me preach this Sunday. But if you do want to hear me preach, we stream everything on Facebook. The whole entire service goes on Facebook, so you can see that on the church Facebook page. Disney karaoke night Sunday. That actually would be fun. That would.
Oh, gracious. Put that as an idea down.
My wife's over here going, put that as an idea down. We actually will have a live stream group game night when Laurel is here. So next Friday, the plan is to put it online. Fingers crossed. We'll be doing the Jackbox games again, probably Trivia Murder Party and the T-shirt one, and I'm forgetting the name. But we'll actually have most of the people at our house. So I'm planning to put the webcam up where you can see the whole living room, and then we'll stream the game on the side as well, so you can see both. Hoping to be able to get it active where you'll be much quicker in streaming, so that way people aren't trying to vote on something they can't see. But you'll get to see us all interact together is the plan. So look for that possibly next Friday night, if all goes well. Drew, thank you. Yes, Drew has been to our church, so he can tell you. We've got, let's see, Drew and Brandon, and I've had a couple others drop in as well. And then Craig's planning on being here in September. So, and yes, if you do like me singing, you can actually see it at the beginning of that. So, let's see. Trying to get, and forgive me, I'm sorry, I'm smacking my lips up, but I need a drink. I need my tea. Yep. Okay. Good afternoon, Rachel. Do Huey, Dewey, and Louie ever meet at Disney? I've only seen them at Christmas in the parade. I've never actually seen them in the parks. I've never seen them do meet and greets. So, Christmas parade, I think, is the only time I've actually seen it. They're spaced out. Judging my parishioners' mental state. If they're coming to my church, Craig, that already comments on their mental state. Oh, Dustin, thank you so much for watching my sermons. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Weird Al's a voice actor in the Phineas and Ferb. Weird Al's actually done a few voice acting jobs. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Okay. There you go, Craig. Need to bring your noise-canceling headphones when you visit New Hope. You might want it in the car when I'm driving you, too. Put on some Hamilton or Greatest Showman. There you go. I'll sing Greatest Showman for you. Especially since Craig is a theater person. Does a lot of theater stuff. So, yeah, I got to do some theater and sing some musicals. Well, it's my favorite thing to do in Disney when I worked there. Everything. Well, let's see. We made it almost an hour to the second favorite question. Nia, I don't generally pick favorites because I love so much stuff that it's very hard. It'll be like, oh, that was my favorite, but wait, now there's this, and now wait, this. Let's do that right now. This is my favorite. It's whatever I'm doing is the easiest way to do it. And that's, yeah. So what's my favorite? Whatever I'm doing. I can tell you some things that are not my favorites. That's actually easier. But, yeah, as far as picking individual favorites, it's tough. So I think I covered all the news. Let's see. Covered Laurel's coming. Let me see here. Let me see if I can give you hints on video titles coming up over the next 2 to 3 weeks. It'll be a little lighter on Park Tales. In fact, Tuesday, instead of a Park Tales, it's actually going to be Why I Left Disney, so it's more of a confessions. And then, let me see, what are my other videos I've got coming up? The projector review. Yeah, sorry, it'll be an advertisement. I don't know any other nice way to put it. Let's see. I'm looking over all my files here. The difference between taking pictures at night versus daytime for a PhotoPass photographer. Stupid questions people ask characters. I did film another thing about the utilidors as well. That was one of my very first videos that I did, about 3 minutes, talking about the utilidors. And it was like, I still get a bunch of views on it. I'm like, this really needs to be updated. So I will have an updated version on the utilidors as well. Let's see. And people are asking about the church Facebook page. So there is the link for you to it. Hopefully when the Tokyo Disney expansion opens, they'll still do the planned merch. I hope so. There's so much that's on hold right now. So much. Merchandise, attractions, and so many other things. Need a car karaoke video of you and Craig when he visits. Actually, that would be quite amusing. So, okay, in fact, let me make a note here. Because Laurel can tell you about me singing at the parks. Because, yes, I do. Yeah, I have fun with it, especially if I know it's driving people nuts. Did I ever take pictures of myself at work? No. Nope. General rule at theme parks is if your phone comes out of your pocket, you're fired. Gone. So, no, I never took pictures of myself because I was working. I couldn't take my camera out and take pictures of myself. Now, I do have a handful of pictures that were taken of me while I was at work. My mother took a couple, my wife took a couple, and I had a couple other people take some. So I do have pictures of me working. I've got a handful of from Disney, and it's like 6, I think, of me actually working at Disney. Maybe 7. At Silver Dollar City, I have more. I probably have about 3 dozen, plus a few videos of me doing the robbery. At Busch Gardens, I have 3, I think. And that's because I took them backstage when we weren't really working, or when I was doing my all my driving backstage I had to do is retraining for the stupid accident. The guy that had to sit in the truck with me, we had talked ahead of time, and so I actually handed him my camera, and he took a few pictures, very surreptitiously, not letting people see him. So he got a couple pictures of me driving that way too. But that's about all I have. I've got, like I said, I think there's 3 of me at Busch Gardens while I was working, and then like 6 or 7 at Disney. At Silver Dollar City, I've got them because other people took them, and we had Facebook and more social media and stuff then. When I worked at Disney, you didn't have smartphones. The very first iPhone came out my last year, or the last 2 years I was at Disney. You didn't have smartphones. They were still flip phones, and the cameras sucked. That's so. Let me see here. Craig, Suzanne, Bryce. What did I miss that Suzanne said? I missed something that was said. I hate that. Where's Suzanne's comment? Let's see. How come I never mentioned that Crane, Missouri was home to some of the best trout fishing waters? I don't know how they get these trout. Crane is actually, we have a creek that runs through town. It's not deep. It's clear. You can see all the way at the bottom. The biggest fish I ever see in this creek is this big. I don't know where they get these trout from on the creek. And I'm not a fisherman, but I see people fishing in our parks and stuff. And I'm like, you can see the fish. They're not big. I don't know where they get them from. I really don't. Oh, do I have a preferred shampoo? The one that cleans my hair. Okay, actually, I would model for Pert and just show you all the body that it gets. Anyways. Wish I did a video of how much Disneyland or Disney World so expensive, or top the top 10 or 20 most expensive things. Trevor, I actually have done a video way back. It was probably about a year ago, where I talked about the fact that Disneyland isn't as expensive as we make it seem. There are definitely things that are more expensive there. I don't have budget for them, so unless somebody else has paid for it, I really haven't been able to do it. These last couple trips I took that T-Chess Media and Alex paid for. Alex paid for us to go to the Not So Scary Party. Alex paid for us to go to the dessert party and the meal plan where we got to eat at Tiffin's and Crystal Palace and some of this stuff. Alex paid for us to go to Disneyland. We covered Blue Bayou, but he actually even helped with that. So the things that I never could have done because we just simply don't have money, and he blessed us amazingly with that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have money for that. When we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, the fact that we got to do that was beyond, it was mind-blowing for us. So we were really, really blessed, and I can't say that enough when I say that he covered us. Even when I went to Paris, the gentleman who took me there, Leo, we got to do a couple meals. He managed to work some stuff that I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm getting to do this. It was amazing. So, but that's why I don't review a lot of the expensive things, because I haven't done them. I don't have money. Michael, thank you for all your entertaining videos. Michael, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Especially the gift. And again, shout out to London. If Tokyo happens, I can promise you this, London. When Tokyo happens, should at some point, I will have a video that's going to talk about the stuff I'm really looking forward to the most. What attractions and things. So, my daughter got a photo of herself in costume alone on an empty main street at night. With permission, of course. Love that shot. That would be cool. That, again, there weren't smartphones at the time when I was there. So if you wanted to get pictures, you actually had to bring in a camera. And I did have a little pocket digital that I took with me twice, and then didn't use. So, because you just couldn't. But that would be really cool to get the picture on Main Street at night. That would be amazing. So they do have an ability, thanks to smartphones and the great cameras in them, to do some things that we couldn't back then. But yeah, you couldn't do it in front of guests. Oh, big no-no in front of guests. But if there were no guests around, and if somehow you'd had a decent phone, you might have been able to do it. But not backstage. So, when you drive somebody nuts, it's a big... If it's a big bunch, you use a big bus. You bet I do. What's my favorite food at Disney when I worked there? Whatever I was eating. Sorry, Nia, you're going to get kind of a variation of the same answer anytime you ask me a favorite. It's whatever I'm writing, whatever I'm seeing, whatever I'm listening to, whatever I'm eating, because that's really kind of it. There were a couple places I didn't generally eat, but goodness, I love eating there. Going to get you on my Kodak disc. Oh, gosh, I remember the disc cameras. That'll date me. So, Suzanne Bryce, do you think Sir Will is a little bit mischievous? A little bit? What a bit big. Yeah, so, yep, but yes, when we start thinking about Japan, and actually with the next trip as well, I will be talking about various things that we'll be doing to plan. Kind of like I did my countdown to Disney World when I got to go back there, and then I did the countdown to Disneyland. When we get ready for Tokyo, I'll be doing a countdown of sorts where I'll talk about some of the stuff like that. What's my favorite purple pigmented character? Let's see, there's Figment, there's Dino and the Flintstones. Oh gosh, there was that Martian character as well. It's so hard. There's so many. Okay, Figment wins that one. Only choose one: Star Trek, Star Wars, or Doctor Who. Yeah, can't do it. I seriously can't do it. So, oh well. Any case, thank you so much, everybody. Lots of stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. So like I said, we will have a couple actual park tales from doing things, but a lot of stories from in the parks. I actually think some of the videos I've been doing lately have been really good. Really pleased with some of what's coming out. If you haven't seen the anniversary video, go watch that. For some reason, people didn't see my anniversary video. Go watch the anniversary video. The pidio too. Yeah, do the pidio. The one where it says the past, present, and future. I spent months working on that video. Go watch it. But yeah, I think we got some great stuff coming up. Give me your suggestions. If you have something that you want Laurel and my daughter to spill on me about with the parks, send me comments. I would love to hear that. It should be a lot of fun when they're here. So looking forward to everything coming up. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this today. And this video, a special diet. And we'll look forward to doing something again here soon. Thanks so much, guys. Hope you all have an awesome weekend. Keep safe. Keep special. I just can't wait to be king.